Today's short is being brought to you by Goya Foods. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
Your daily game plan for success. It's Sax in the Morning. Steve Sax.
Hi, Steve Sax here with Sax in the Morning, and welcome to Monday, November 14th. Time is really marching on. We're getting close to Thanksgiving and then Christmas, and then before you know it, we're going to be headed into spring training again next year. Anyway, last week we talked about playoff performances and really doing it and coming to the table when you have to. This week, we're talking a little bit about finishing strong. After all, this is towards the end of the year, and it's important, I really believe, to finish off what you're doing. A lot of times, people leave a lot on the table because they don't finish strong. But as we head into that new year, it's on all of our minds. How can I close out the year the best that I can? How can I make up whatever I fell short with? Or how can I capitalize on already a great performance? It's not unlike milestones in sports, the World Series or Super Bowl, etc., but we all have our year or season endings. So how do we make the best of it? Well, I have 4 tips that I wanted to share with you. And as we get along here, we're going to finish this off in the next couple of days as well. But here's 4 tips that I have for us on today, okay? So it goes like this. This one is so obvious, and yet it is the thing that most people stop doing and causes them to falter right before the end of a project. And it really is so simple. And that is that if you're on track, they've been getting good results, to keep doing what you're doing. And remember, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting, good or bad. And so if you're doing well, just keep pressing, all right? So often people get on a roll and everything is working out great, and then they begin to see the finish line and think that they can just let up, or they think that they have to change what they are doing for some reason. But if what you're doing has gotten you this far successfully, all you have to do is keep on doing it, right? So it's kind of like when I would face a pitcher that, was getting me out. What is the pitcher doing? He keeps throwing the same stuff. He just keeps doing it. You keep swinging at a slider in the dirt. Guess what? He's going to throw you a slider in the dirt until you show him that you're going to lay off it. You're going to make a change. So if you do something that's working, man, just keep pressing along. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, I talk about setting goals all the time. And then when you set big goals, it is important to break them down into smaller goals that you can reach and accomplish quickly and well. So as you near the end of the year or a major assignment or opportunity, stop and write down the goal you want to achieve while finishing strong. At the end of something, we're obviously going to be fatigued mentally, physically, and emotionally. And that's when things can become unclear and we make mistakes. So pause and get some clarity on how to achieve the last leg of this race, and then be specific in the steps that you need to finish to get there. So here's tip number 3. You need to figure out what's been slowing you down. Now, if you're nearing the finish line of something that you've had some personal experience to draw on, that's got to be a big help for you. So stop and take some inventory of what has worked and what hasn't. Maybe you find that you work better in the first thing in the morning, not like I do. I know that's the case for me. Maybe if you notice that you constantly go to social media for a distraction. So maybe you need to work better after some exercise. Whatever it is, use your own experience to evaluate what has been getting in your way and cut that out. Again, at this point, you're obviously pretty tired, and you need to be as efficient as possible. So look back at that dead weight and just cut it out. Tip number 4, and here's probably the biggest of all, and that is don't do this alone. Sharing your work or your goals with another person is definitely the best, and it's a good way to stay accountable and motivated when things are tough. If someone can help you with the work, ask them for the help. I know how important it is to be part of a team. We used to talk about that all the time in baseball, picking each other up. And even if what you're trying to accomplish isn't team-driven, then share what you're doing with a partner. Share it with a spouse or a family member, whoever it may be. So even if they can't help you necessarily technically with the work part of it, maybe they can help you be, motivated and accountable. And that's a really, really important part of it. And that's what we're going to talk about in this theme for the next couple of days, is how you're going to finish strong. And that's my short for today. If you like what you heard, give us a positive review, subscribe, and share. Also, remember that the Sax in the Morning swag is now available on my Instagram site. Go to saxinthemorning_podcast. You'll see it right there on the Instagram, and just hit the link. Everything's there, mugs, hats, tumblers, you name it. Take advantage of it. And thanks to Al Hendrickson Toyota for their support of this podcast. And be sure to visit alhendricksontoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.